Hey, what up, YouTube? Heldenhorn here, and today we are going to pretend that Overwatch is a dating sim, and you have the opportunity to date all the characters of Overwatch in a wholesome environment. Not one of these NSFW dating sims, just a wholesome one where you get all the backstories of all the characters you want, and it's just nice and fun. Now, we're going to establish some ground rules here. Um, we're going to just kind of ignore the gender, age, and species, or whether characters are robots or not, and we're going to anthropomorphize everyone. So if um, you're questioning why I would even rank Bastion or Wrecking Ball or Zenyatta, well, we're going to pretend that everybody in this game is um, pansexual. We're going to pretend they're all in their 20s, and we're going to pretend that all of them are in a college town. So we're assuming these are all college people, just as most dating sims are in that college high school age bracket. And we're just going to do it with the characters of Overwatch. Now, I created some very tiny backstories for each of the characters, and based off of their real backstories in the game. However, I'm gonna say, even if that backstory may be something that if I weren't a married man, I would be more likely to date than another, I'm probably gonna honestly base this off of how much I like playing the characters. Um, but that's just how we're gonna go for it. So let's get things started. Starting with Anna. Um, I've decided that Anna, because she has a big sense of pride and loyalty, and she's guilty for all the sniping she's done, I've decided that Anna in college was involved in charities, works at a soup kitchen because she wants to give back for all she's done, and she was a former FPS tournament champ, but you don't know why she quit the FPS scene. Um, but she's just a nice, wholesome person. So, of my five categories of must get married now, and I'm going to go on every date I can with them in the game, to go on a couple dates with Anna, or I might be friends with Anna, or I'd humor at least a date, or there's just no chemistry at all. We're just going to put her, because, she's a nice, honorable person, has some gaming experience. Let's go on a couple dates with Anna. Now, Ash. Ash in this is the rebel biker chick who somehow has a very expensive bike and very expensive stuff, and you don't know why she has the expensive stuff because you haven't met her yet. Um, but as you delve into her, you also find out she has a gambling addiction and all this backstory with her parents. But she's got that air of mystery about her. But also she's stinking hot. Um, so I'd give Ash a couple of dates. Now, Baptiste, he has signed up for the ROTC, and so he gets up every morning to do his workouts, like all the ROTC people do at college, waking up obnoxiously early, jogging across campus in their full gear, and he's going to be a nurse in the ROTC. Um, and just because he's that generic, and honestly, I jumped into Overwatch. So I played Overwatch for a long time, but stopped once they revealed Baptiste for the first time. I honestly don't know like anything about him, so I imagine he's just kind of a fun, nice guy. So we're gonna put him more like friends. He's the buddy in the dating sim. Now, Bastion. Bastion's a flower child hipster. Because Bastion, well, they don't have much personality to base things off of other than they've been involved in the woods. Um, they've got their bird. I can't think of its name. Um, they have a dark past, but they're trying to do things right. And to be honest, I love playing as Bastion. I know it's cheap sometimes. And admittedly, like in quick player competitive, Bastion isn't as big of a deal. But in Mystery Hero, which is what I play all the time, Bastion is beast. And I love Bastion. Bastion as a character, they're just awesome. And I love Bastion. So I want to get married to Bastion right now. Um, Next, we have Brigitta. I don't actually know how they pronounce it in the game, but I assume that since she's European, it is Brigitta. Um, I have decided she is an auto mechanic. So she works at like a small town um, auto parts place doing repairs. She doesn't actually go to the college that your character is going to, but you end up meeting her when you need to get stuff for your car or something. And as you go on more dates with her, you decide, or she starts showing that she has a real deep fascination for LARPing. Why LARPing? Because her armor. And that's really it. I just decided she likes LARPing in this. Um, but as far as any of that, that's not my personal stuff as far as like auto mechanic stuff or LARPing. I do like role playing things, but I don't like LARPing. So I'm going to say let's make her a. I'd humor a date. Now we've got Doomfist. Oh, I went slightly out of order here alphabetically. Well, we'll still go with Doomfist because he's next. Doomfist, he he's a gym rat. He's obsessed with MMA and he will fight anyone. And he has anger issues. And simply because he is my least favorite character to play as, like I am the worst at playing as Doomfist. It's not in my nature at all, and I get so mad when I'm playing as Doomfist in Mystery Heroes, and I'll be so proud when I get so much as 2 kills with him. Because I hate playing him so much, I'm gonna go with no chemistry. Really, it's just because I'm bad at playing as Doomfist. Next, we have Diva. She's an esports gamer, of course. She has enough backstory that fits right into college stuff. Everything she owned fits into that like Twitch color scheme with like the neon colors and purples and pinks and greens. Um, and she's earning her way through college by being a Twitch partner. She could go full time, but she ends up going to college just so that she can have a dedicated place to be part of an esports team. Um, gamers can be hot. Diva hot. I'd go on a couple dates with her. Um, would I go? Yeah, I'd probably go with um more than Anna. I'd be curious about Ash's backstory, so I'd probably go on a date with Ash over these two. So that's what we're gonna do. Next, we have Echo. And to be quite honest, I know like nothing about Echo because Echo came out when I was on my hiatus from Overwatch. The backstory I came up with for Echo is she's a TA for a professor because she just wants to learn and be helpful. She's just nice. Um, she'd be a good friend. In a dating sim, I wouldn't be concerned about like going on dates with her. She doesn't look like she has enough backstory for me to want to do that. But then I'd probably end up like if I did go through her storyline, I'd be like, oh, she's got such a deep history. Ooh, but I wouldn't. Next, we have Genji. And I've decided that Genji, because of his ninja moves and stuff, and his carrying around a katana, he's the fedora wearing dude bro out of college. Um, and because I don't like fedora wearing dude bros, um, and I don't like playing as Genji, I'm going to put him down in no chemistry. But I still like him better than Doomfist. I at least get like 2 or 3 kills with Genji. Next, we have Hanzo. Hanzo is Genji's brother who gets so fed up with Genji in the dating sim, and always talks like disappointed about his brother and just wishes he would take Japanese culture more seriously. So he's kind of boring. But you find out probably that he'd been taking care of his brother or something, and there's some deep, dark backstory with their parents and abuse or something, and Hanzo was just all in charge of trying to get through that as the big older brother. Um, but probably because he's got good facial hair, and a nice voice, I'll at least humor a date. Um, Junkrat. Let's go to Junkrat. He's been kicked out of the college. He applied. He got in somehow miraculously. Somehow lit something on fire. They decided not to press charges that time, but he got kicked out. He is constantly getting into trouble for theft and pyrokinetics, and he's kind of a redneck. Like I live in small town country Idaho, and they're just a certain type of redneck that really loves setting things on fire and making bad decisions. They're not like super country, but they're just enough country. Um, but because I'd want to go on mischievous adventures with Junkrat, um, I think in a dating sim, I'd go on a couple dates with Junkrat. Yeah. Lucio. He is a music business major, because that was too easy to decide on his major. Um, and everybody just kind of seems to like him. He's nice enough. Um, from the get-go in the game, in a dating sim, he wouldn't look all that interesting, but me as a musician, I'd be determined to be like, oh, I'm going to see if I can beat his story to romance him. Um, So just for through my trying to connect with him, and also I love playing as him in any mode, we'll put him in Must Get Married Now, just beneath Bastion. Um, Next we got McCree. He's the one who knows all the line dances. Um, he's the country kid that wears the cowboy hat to every class. Um, but he's not quite as right wing as you think. Um, but he's got that country boy in him, and he takes great pride in going to senior center dances to dance with the old ladies and to do all the line dances and swing dances. He's good for dancing, so I'd humor a date with him just for his dancing skills. So we'll put him there. Next, we have May. Now, May is a timid biology major who, once you get to know her, is secretly very sassy. Um, And straight up, just because it's fun to play May and she's a hottie, let's move May to Must Get Married Now. Let's put her between here. Next, we have Mercy. Mercy, Mercy, Mercy. She's an A+ nursing student that's really intimidating. Um, Kind of overbearing when you are around her just because she knows so much and you're just like, I can't say anything right around you because you're too smart. Um, And that kind of attitude doesn't really work with me. I almost got scared out of doing a fraternity because of something like that. Um, and also because I'm really bad at playing as Mercy, I'm going to put her in no chemistry. But at least above these two. She at least has high aspirations, but I just couldn't be around her. Moira. Moira is majoring in something to do with medicine, but has an awkward, weird obsession with death and glam rock. And I say glam rock because she's got her David Bowie skin. And because of that, she instantly gets Must Get Married Now status because David Bowie. And also, she's really freaking fun to play as. I like her character design. Something about redheads in games, like they're just hotties. So Moira, let's put a ring on it. Next, Orisa. Orisa's the C student who's just really nice, just really wants to be a traffic cop, wants to go into being a criminology major, and getting hired on to the police, but really she just wants to do like traffic cop stuff. Um, but the real reason to date Moira to date Orisa in any of these games is she has a puppy. And so because she has a puppy, she would definitely at least get friends, but she's kind of boring. Now, we move on to Farah. She's a criminology major who can't shut up about the Air Force. And I really don't like it when people can't shut up about things like the Air Force or Drum Corps or anything like that, where it's something deeply involved, but not something anybody else you're talking to is really paying attention to. So therefore, Farah is going to have no chemistry with me. She's gonna be right down here. So there's that. Now we have Reaper. He's a mysterious character, and no one knows what he does. No one knows what his major is. No one knows about his personality other than he looks dark. But it turns out he's a sweetheart at the end. And because everybody wants to figure out what his dating path would be like in a dating sim, we're gonna go on a couple of dates with Reaper. We'll put him above Junkrat. Cool. Reinhardt. He is the college frat bro who's usually in charge of providing the kegs at all the frat parties. He's also very much into the hazing part of fraternities because it builds bonding as far as he's concerned. Because, hey, if every brother has gone through it, well, then so do you. It made him tougher, and he has a good time. And yeah, but his overall fun nature moves him from no chemistry to I'd humor a date. Probably right down here at the bottom. Then we got Roadhog. He's a big, quiet dude who everyone is concerned probably kills animals. No chemistry. But I do love playing as him. I freaking love playing as Roadhog. But based on all the backstory stuff I can find on him, there isn't much to work with there. Sigma. Sigma, I didn't really know anything about until today when I was researching about Overwatch characters, because again, he's a character that came out during my hiatus from Overwatch, which I only restarted about 2 weeks ago. But Sigma is an astrology major who is the president of the chess club. And because of that, do I put him in more like friends because those are the kinds of people I hang out with, or I'd humor a date? I almost feel like the more like friends is below humor a date because like you're not going to date them in the game. So let's actually move that down there. You know, oh gosh, he's hard to figure out. Just like he is hard to play as, but he's also impossible to kill. Let's go on a date so we can figure out why he's so impossible to kill. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Then we've got Soldier 76. He's in the same frat as Reinhardt. He's actually the one hosting the parties all the time. He's the grill daddy of the fraternity, who has been in the fraternity for too many years because he's been in college for like 7 years. Just because he really can't get enough of that frat boy life. Yeah. So he's fun to hang out with. He just kind of makes friends with everybody. We can be friends. We'll put him right there. Now my girl, Sombra. She is... She attends the college technically, but she's never actually attended class, but somehow has passed every class because she's hacked the system to change her grades. But because Sombra, my girl, Sombra is bae, Sombra is life. Get married right now, Sombra. Let's put a ring on it. I have a soft spot for cyberpunk character designs. Always have. So my little cyberpunk Latina will be in Muscari Get Married Now with her sassy nature and her fun gameplay. And we're going to put her... I'd say Moira goes first, but because I actually have a pop of Sombra, I'm going to put Sombra first. So let's move Moira there. Sombra is base, Sombra is life. Fact. Now, in this dating sim, Symmetra is a top engineering student at the whole university. In the College of Engineering, where there are like 2,000 students, she is top notch. She's gonna get a job right away, and it's because of her obsessive compulsive nature. Which, if you look into her backstory, is fairly straight up and has to do with the fact that she has autism. But that's not a negative thing on any spectrum of anything. It's more of a personality trait, if you ask me. But I like achievers, and she gets stuff done. So at least in this situation, I'd humor a date just to see where her character arc goes in the dating sim. Actually, no, let's go on a couple dates. Um, that's what we'll do. Um, yeah, we'll keep Junkrat here just so that, because his storyline of the game is obviously going to be exciting. Then we got Torbjorn. He's a short, fat brother that can hold way more alcohol than you think. So him, Soldier 76, and Reinhardt are best bros because, well, they'd just be best bros. Because they're frat bros. Frat bros. Now, with Torbjorn, I do like playing as him because he's easy to play as. But in video games, I've always really disliked dwarves. And since his character is a dwarf design, it's going to be hard for me to get around. So, I know that's really shallow of me. I'm sorry for being shallow and having types. But dwarfs are not my type. But I'd still put it above fedora wearing dude, bro. Yeah. Then we've got Tracer. She's a really fun, really nice track star at the school. And because she's just so nice and funny, everybody's gonna want to get with her in the dating sim. But the game developers made it purposefully difficult by making it hard to find what time you can go on dates with her because she's in different locations at different times because she's always running. And so, because of excuse me, because of the elusive nature and just wanting to get that completionist tier in the dating sim and unlocking everything she has to offer. Let's put her on go on. No, let's go and must get married now. Simply because I am determined to beat that story arc, even though it's the toughest one to get through because of time issues. Now, we have Widowmaker. She's the cutthroat dance major. I went to school for music education where we shared a building with dance majors. They're very cutthroat. It's just how they are. And so, because of that, like, I want to say no chemistry, but if she asked me on a date, she hot. So I'd say go on a couple dates because she hot. So let's put her behind Symmetra. Next, we've got 4 more to go. We've got Winston. He's also part of the frat. Um, he ended up in there because it was a great resume builder. He wanted to make connections. He's really nice, but and he's also like the fraternity vice president. But he has major issues with the hazing going on in the fraternity and is always trying to get his bros Torbjorn and Reinhardt and Soldier 76 to stop with the hazing. And so, yeah, he's just a nice guy. If you asked me to go on a date, I'd go on a date with Winston. Let's put him right here. Next, we have Wrecking Ball. um, he's a mechanical engineer that everyone in the game seems to understand other than you, the protagonist. Like, you try talking to him, and you just can't focus on the things he says. But everybody else goes along with everything he says, and you're just like, what's going on? But I hate playing as Wrecking Ball real hard. And there's no personality to work with in the initial start of the game. So I'm going to say there's no chemistry. Just in front of fedora wearing dude bro Genji. Now we've got 2 more to go. We've got Zarya. She's a kinesiology major who is also in the ROTC with Baptiste. and she hates losing. So like every workout they do, Zarya's leading the way, just like, come on, you scrubs, get with the program. Y'all got to do better. Now, that is somebody I normally couldn't handle, but I love playing as Zarya. She is my favorite tank to play as, hands down. Um, so because of that, and because I think it would be funny to see what kind of crazy things she would make you do athletically in our dating sim for Overwatch, I'd go on a few dates with her. Let's put her just behind Junkrat. In that I'm curious to see what kind of path that would go down. And lastly, we've got Zenyatta. Zenyatta regularly does Tai Chi in the park. In the what's the word for it at universities? Oh goodness. In the oh, this is gonna be a moment I have to cut out. Anyways, Zenyatta, he regularly does Tai Chi in the park. And he has the most passive aggressive arguments with people ever. And why do I say that? Even though his lore is he's nice to everyone, it's because I had a Tai Chi professor that, for a semester, had to teach Tai Chi in the marching band hall at Boise State, where I went to. And they scheduled his class when basketball pep band was going on. So he was supposed to have the band hall because it had mirrors and a big space, but was frequently taken over by the basketball pep band. And I was stuck in the middle because I'm in both the Tai Chi class and the pep band. And one time I saw my Tai Chi professor get into an argument with the director of the marching band. And he was so passive aggressive in all of his comments, just like trying to be like, "Oh, it's okay. I just wish I would have known that all these issues would have happened. The university never told me anything. I was supposed to have this space, but much more snippy than that." But because Zenyatta, my boy, and I love playing as Zenyatta, and Zenyatta was my first character that I really fell in love with playing as. Even though he doesn't really have a character arc that I would like in the dating sim, I simply got to put him in Must Get Married Now because Zenyatta, my boy. So there you have it. There you have it. This right here is who I would prioritize in the giant, massive Overwatch dating sim if it were a dating sim. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in here at Heldenhorn on YouTube. I put out whatever content I feel like, whenever I feel like. Feel free to follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Heldenhorn. I am also on Facebook at Heldenhorn Gaming. So there's a page for that. And come catch my Twitch streams whenever. If you want to catch those, I usually post them a couple hours before on the Facebook. Leave a like here or subscribe. Feel free to fill out a bracket of who you would date in the Overwatch dating sim. And if you want to not anthropomorphize everything, or if you just want to go on how hot you think characters are, by all means. But again, as a reminder, I'm just pretending that the main character is pansexual and everyone's in their 20s and human. So, with that being said, thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.